Do you think the fields are becoming more welcoming to people being marginalized? Yeah, that's a big question, and I think they're connected because like a lot of the people that I look up to in the industry are people who are pushing for more marginalized folks to be included and to make make the industry safer and more welcoming to folks who aren't cis white men. And because the industry is largely dominated by, certainly by men historically, but also not historically, because like a lot of the early pioneers in computing were women. The original computers actually were women. Computer was originally a job title for people who made the computer, who programmed the original computers back when it was like seen as kind of rote, seen as work that was boring. That they left the women to do the instructions for the computers. But that was originally a job title, and it was actually really like interesting, difficult work. And then as the perception shifted, the kind of the demographics changed. But one of the great pioneers in computing is Admiral Grace Hopper, who who has a programming language named after her. There were lots of women involved in like the space program early on. There's a good movie about that you're probably aware of. It's like there's and so as we go into the industry today, I think it is increasing. I think there is progress being made there. I think it's increasingly a welcoming place, and also we've got work to do there as well. As someone who fits mostly into the boxes of the predominant demographic in tech, it's hard for me to, like, I don't know what it is like to enter into the field, but I think it's helpful to find mentors who are in the field, who can encourage you and let you know that, like, yes, you do know what you're doing, even if others don't think you do, or even others are discouraging or don't recognize your contributions. Like finding folks like yourself, and increasingly there are folks, and there's great groups of, there's a lot of good like tech affinity groups. I know one I'm involved in is Out in Tech, that is a LGBT queer tech group, and finding other folks in the industry to talk to and kind of be and share your experiences and make connections with is really valuable. I think people's reactions to you is not always the reality of your existence and experience, right? And so you don't have to listen to someone just because they're like above you in the company hierarchy or whatever. I mean, you have to listen to them to some extent, but don't take their evaluations of you over what you know of yourself. I'm on Twitter too much, and so I follow a bunch of tech folks on Twitter. But Liz Gray is a really rad trans woman who worked at Google for a while, and then built her own company that is doing a lot of good things. And she's a great voice for trans folks in the industry and for women in the industry, and like pushing for a more inclusive tech industry. And she's doing good work there. And folks that are working for unionization in the software industry are also rad. There's a tech workers union that's doing things because the needs for a tech union are different, but are still existent and are around pressing for equality and diversity and in pay and things.